Welcome, one and all, to Creating Canon with your hosts, AJ Hamilton and Nick Pappas.
My mom has this thing where she's like, I named you Nicholas.
Sure.
So she asks that in all professional ways, like it was Nicholas C.
Yeah.
Pappas.
Okay. Oh, Nicholas C. Pappas?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Sure. And Nicholas C. Pappas. Z, right?
Close enough. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Nick.
Yes, AJ.
What have we done?
What have we done?
What did we make ourselves do?
This is
Holy crap.
amazing. So today we saw Dr. Heckyl and Mr. Hype.
Woo, woo.
Which, yeah.
That kind of hype?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This should have all the hype.
Yeah.
And it should have all the heckles. if you catch my heckling drift.
Yeah, it wasn't good?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was very clear, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh my god.
All right.
I don't even, this is one of those things where I'm now questioning the existence of this podcast.
Oh, like we should never subject ourselves to this again?
Yeah, I feel like there should almost be a little button in between us.
Right.
That's sort of like the X Factor. Where after a certain point, if we both hit it, we can stop the movie.
And we just do the podcast from there?
Yeah. Although I gotta be honest, look, you know what's really weird? As terrible as this movie was,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of myself.
This movie is, I wrote it down, I got inspired at the very last. This was if David Lynch and the Three Stooges teamed up to make the Naked Gun movies.
That's exact.
That's all you really need to know. You do not have to watch this movie.
Straight down to a little person.
Yeah, man.
If that feels very Lynchian all on its
Of
own.
course. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Tony Cox, by the way.
Right?
So first of all, Dr. Heckyl and Mr. Hype is 1980.
Yes.
Shit. This is...
Man. Oh.
So, I'm just going to do the plot.
Please, yes.
As best as I can.
That's how we start.
An ugly podiatrist gets an anti-fat serum from a doctor friend. That serum makes the ugly man attractive, and this new ladies' man feels ownership of women, and he has his way with them, if he could, but he ends up killing them first. His one true... You know what? Fuck it. Never mind. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
No, it's Dr. Heckyl and Mr. Hype.
No, but, I mean, I'm just saying...
Wait, is this based on something else?
Yes, this is based
What?
off of... the true story of Mikhail Gorbachev.
And then he turned into Vladimir Putin.
Who is...
The good-looking one.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going with that. He is the ladies' man. That Putin.
Oh my goodness,
Fuck.
man.
So, I think we should just maybe hop into, the pedigree of this movie is really important to
please,
talk
yes.
about.
Yeah, let's do that.
Directed by Charles B. Griffith, who directed a handful of movies, including Smokey Bites the Dust, which was a takeoff on Smokey and the Bandit.
No.
Yeah, it's like a spoof movie of
Smokey didn't make it?
No, he bit the dust in this one, apparently.
Oh, no!
And he also did Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 2, which was just on the latest season of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Ooh, nice.
Starring
nice,
several
nice.
of the same actors in this movie. But
fantastic.
But Charles B. Griffith was really known for doing a ton of work with Roger Corman, who did uncredited work on this script. And the script was also written by Charles B. Griffith, who also did A Bucket of Blood. He did Ski Troop Attack. Corman Classics.
Yep.
He did Little Shop of Horrors. He wrote the original Little Shop of Horrors.
Ew.
He wrote Barbarella.
Yeah.
And he wrote Death Taste? Death Race 2000.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where, have you seen any of those movies, AJ?
Yeah, I believe I've seen Barbarella, Little Shop of Horrors. I don't think Ski Troop Attack. That never made it on my radar. And I think I saw the more modern Death Race. I didn't see
the
the
original.
1975.
Yeah. So, I guess it's one of those things where I don't know if we should really be quite surprised by what we saw.
Sure.
But, again, it's sort of like Roger Corman craziness through the eyes of Menachem Golan and Joran Globus, who are definitely bringing like a different understanding of what comedy is to the world.
Like I said, the tone of this was scattershot at best, I would say.
Yeah.
This, I don't really know where to start with this. I mean, we got Oliver Reed playing the main character.
Yeah.
Who is a monster. A goblin.
Goblin, yes.
That's, I mean...
And that's Dr. Heckyl.
Yes, Dr. Heckyl. He doesn't look like any malady that I have ever seen in life.
It's sort of like, if I had to guess, it's like leprosy meets green beer on St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
meets Toxic Avenger.
He looks more zombie than human.
Like he's melting.
Yeah. And he's not supposed to be a monster. He's just supposed to be a really unattractive guy.
Right. He has a club foot, or like an exaggeratedly big
club foot.
Yeah, sure.
His hands are like green, and
like half of them are green. And
his nails
look like they are a bit of a dragon nail.
Yeah.
Or something.
They're like black.
Horrifying.
Naturally,
it's like an orc.
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean, this guy does not exist in real life.
And a Russian style hat wig. I mean, that is a Russian hat.
It's
like one of those.
Like it's big and it's puffy.
Yeah.
One thing that we should mention that is in some ways impressive about this movie.
Yeah. Well, how much was it shot for?
Well, it was shot for $750,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was peanuts basically.
Yeah. Right.
And when Griffith came up with the idea, he actually came up with a bunch of joke titles to give to Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, fantastic.
And then he showed the joke titles to Menachem Golan, who was like,
no.
Oh, yeah, this one. This is the one. And, like, the original idea that Griffith pitched was a movie called Dr. Feelgood and Mr. Hype. Oh. And it's a comedy about a hippie who invents a new drug that turns everyone into ad execs. But the thing that is different than most versions is... Mr. Hyde is usually the ugly one, and Dr. Jekyll is usually attractive. Because he is actually trying to create a medicine to help a dying friend. And then the medicine makes him turn to a monster.
Oh.
Whereas this one, one of those fun ones where it does flip the script in that it's like the beautiful man on the inside and the monster on the outside.
Right.
Turns into the monster on the inside who's a beautiful man on the outside.
Yes, exactly.
Which, I mean,
listen,
well-trod territory.
I think this movie is
amazing.
Struggling through the insanity to try to actually make some interesting points. And also, I think it actually does know how insane the comedy is because it's put in there so deliberately. It's not like half-assed.
No. This is like...
It is full on committing to the bit.
With it's like Lynch directed a Three Stooges show.
Yeah.
It is that deliberate. And one of the things about the script is it was originally written for Dick Van Dyke, but he couldn't do it, so they had to rewrite it. Well, actually what happened was, as Griffith was looking for a different actor, Golan just went ahead and grabbed Oliver Reed and said, "You're in this." So
that's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Which Oliver Reed to Dick Van Dyke is insane. Like that is there's not like that. Those two should never be up for the same role.
No, because just his commitment to his character kind of ruins it.
Yeah,
almost.
It does. Yeah.
How else do you write those lines? But I think if it's tongue in cheek by the actor, maybe it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're onto something because he was too serious.
Yes.
But not in the way Leslie Nielsen was serious in the Naked Gun movies, which was like perfect.
Yeah.
He was serious in a way that was like uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was like he was throwing Shakespeare in the middle of a Marx Brothers show.
Yeah.
I mean, not the funny Shakespeare either, like the Macbeth stuff.
That's not funny to you.
I mean, there's like one funny guy. And I played him.
Funny looking.
Hey.
The other thing about this movie too, the original script was 200 pages.
Holy crap.
Which he never really cut down because there wasn't time and this is the other thing, and I think, this was actually my whole starting point before we got on this weird journey.
Sorry, yeah.
He only had 3 weeks. Griffith had 3 weeks to write and prepare the film.
Oh my God.
He had to shoot the thing in 4 weeks and edit in 2. So that's 9 weeks, start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
So, like, I guess in that sense...
It is an accomplishment. I'll give him that.
It is totally an accomplishment.
I mean, putting together any sort of project, let alone how much? 3 weeks to write it.
3 weeks to write it.
He wrote 200 pages in 3 weeks.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Well,
Yeah.
probably a lot of paste or glue sniffing going on during that time.
My lord. So that
Man,
has to
dude.
be one of the highlights. Oh, well, I mean, oh, Jesus. I don't even know. I feel like I don't even know what's happening with this movie.
I don't either.
This movie has fucked up my brain
Yeah.
in such a way that
Yeah.
just by watching it, I feel high.
A little bit. Me
Little,
too.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I cannot explain. But
Yeah.
just to talk about like the craziness of tone. That's why it's so crazy. Is it's been put together in relatively no time at all.
Yeah, I mean, editing it, trying to find any tone in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For a movie, that's... What were they doing? I mean, I know this is 1980.
The height of cocaine era.
The height of cocaine era. Well, I mean, I guess it shows up on the screen. Kind of paint by numbers. It was very logical, the cuts.
Yeah.
I mean, they must have shot the shit out of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
yeah, because it didn't...
Or 4 weeks.
4
whatever.
weeks.
Yeah.
No matter what, like, that was actually a thing where it doesn't feel like it's missing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as,
Again,
like...
everything's so deliberate.
Everything's so deliberate, and
Yeah.
the whole story makes actual sense. Like, I mean, I feel like at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I see exactly where you got that, how you got that, where you got there. Like, everything connects. There aren't plot holes. I'm not sitting here going like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, yeah.
I can explain everything.
Sure.
But I can't explain anything. And I think part of that just comes down to, like, there are actual lines where, like, I don't remember how it came up, but Dr. Heckyl, who is this ugly monster,
Yes.
says to this woman who he is obsessed with, while he is doing a podiatry appointment for her, he says, "My heart is in your feet."
Did he say that, or was that in his brain?
Oh, that might have been in his brain, but
I don't
either
remember.
way...
It might have actually been out loud.
Fucking thing to say to somebody.
Yeah. Also, we start this movie. He is like you say, a leper, a social leper.
We should say first of all, we start this movie in freeze frame,
Oh God,
which
beautiful.
is impressive on its own because it's just a woman walking out of a door.
Yeah, she hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, no, it's just a woman walking out of a door, like half out. But yes, okay. So
And
sorry.
when it started, and then she went back in, I thought, oh, we are doing some reversal.
Yeah.
Now, she's literally backing in the way she came. No, she just did that because she's horrified of this man.
Yes. Who is a leper.
So a social leper, if nothing else.
Yes.
People are scared to look at him and everything like that. And yet, you go into the place of his work. He has a very nice, odd friend named Dr. Lou Who gives tickle,
Acutickles, which is like acupuncture,
right?
acupressure,
but with
feathers.
he
So
has a
acutickles.
lot of feathers.
Oh,
and that will
my
come back.
God. And his hair is feathered.
Hair is feathered,
His
yeah,
hair is sort of
exactly.
feathered.
He but he has that friend. He has Mrs.
Feinbaum. Oh my God! I just realized that's a play on nice.
Feinbaum.
Is it Mrs.
Damn it, you're right.
Feinbaum.
Okay,
Who
yes.
is like the secretary.
The secretary
Who
of
seems
their.
so fucking enamored with
She
him.
was, if nothing else, he talks, he says, if only anyone would give me some sort of love or
Yeah.
attention, they would see that I am worth something. And then you get to the thing, he's running a very well-performing practice.
Business, yeah.
Podiatry business. He's got, at least for these 2 days that we see him doing it, he has full days of appointments, although he keeps canceling them.
And they are literal. I just have to throw this
Yeah.
out there. Like, all of their problems are literal. Like, there is one guy who
Mm-hmm.
has 2 left feet.
Yeah.
Actually 2 left feet.
And he talks about finding a man with 2 right feet for a
Foot transplant.
A foot transplant.
And then they have a cop who literally is a flat foot.
Flat foot with flat feet.
Yeah,
and
who
he
are,
starts.
like they look like wooden boxes
Yes.
on the bottom of his feet.
And at one point, they're bending the feet like with clamps, and he's just crushing the
Yeah.
feet. And he's like, I can't feel anything. And
I'm a cop.
I'm a cop.
Cops that don't feel nothing.
He cuts his hand with a razor.
He burns
puts
his own hand.
That initially got me thinking of like Naked Gun or Mel Brooks
Yeah.
or something like. Not even Mel Brooks. Definitely Naked Gun. The just deadpan shit.
Oh God.
Oh, and also he says at one point he has an ingrown nail, and he has a nail,
An actual nail, like hammer
like a
and nail
building
nail.
wooden nail,
In his foot.
And he pulls it out.
God damn
And
it.
I think it was all for the joke of Il Topo. Because his license plate and apparently his nickname is Il Topo, because there is an Aesop's fable in...
Well, Il Topo means the mouse.
It means the mouse, and El Leone. And that's the lion and the mouse, and where the mouse removes the nail from the lion. I guess in the end, he was sort of the mouse. And the bad, evil...
The guy was the lion?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know,
Well, he
man.
did have a lion in his bed. Like, he actually had a
Yeah.
lion's head in his bed.
Yes, he did. Not even a rug. It was like he could dress up in it.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
He was like a dentist from fucking Cleveland or Detroit or whatever.
Yeah, it's creepy.
But he's a podiatrist. I feel like there's a line where he kills a woman and he's like, "She's dead and I'm still a virgin."
That's
after the
right.
lion kill.
Yeah, it is.
right?
It's like, shoot. She's dead and I'm still a virgin. It's funnier to hear it not in the Sam Spade voice.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
funnier in the
British voice.
British voice.
The reason that he is so ugly, apparently, is one of my all-time favorite. Like, I want to start acting again so I could use this monologue, which was like, "No one loved me, not even my mother. My mother didn't want me. She thought I would die, so my mother sniffed glue while she was pregnant with me. And then while my mother was nursing,
The day I was born.
she was sniffing glue. When she was nursing me, she was sniffing glue. So now I can't drink milk without it tasting like glue, and I can't lick a postage stamp or an envelope without thinking of my mother and the day I was born."
When she was nursing me.
When she was nursing
Because then
me.
Carol,
Well, that's right.
Coral says, "I would nurse you," or whoever
That's
he's
right.
with at the
That's what
time.
she says. Oh
I
my
would be your
God.
nurse. I know. Oh,
Who's
that's it.
gonna nurse me
And
now?
she was like, "I'll be your nurse." And I really wanted like a record scratch
Like,
in the back, be like, look at the camera. It wouldn't be out of place because this movie is full of sound effects.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. I don't know if I said that
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
This movie is literally just a live-action cartoon.
It's amazing.
And it's more cartoony than most cartoons I've seen. Like,
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. I did that right at a camera pointed at my head.
Oh,
for
I know.
emphasis.
Hey, maybe you should go back into acting. You got the.
Let me tell
got
ya,
the touch.
I'll sniff some glue.
He takes the thing that he takes to, I don't even know, man,
Is a paste.
is a paste.
It's a paste.
And oh wait, what was it? Yes. Okay. So when he takes this, he is transformed. Some women are transformed into thin
Yeah, so
because the
paste was-
concept is that and then he turns into handsome, right?
Yeah.
Because the concept is that actually it only takes away the non-wanted pieces of yourselves and
Right.
transforms you into what you desire to look like.
Which is insane because,
know.
like, the fat women
Yeah.
all turn thin.
Yeah.
The ugly guy turns into the handsome guy.
Right.
But then Tony Cox takes it.
Yeah.
And Tony Cox is a little person
Yeah.
who is probably most known for, like, Bad Santa.
Yes.
Like, who's an attractive dude. And,
Sure.
And, like, it makes him tall.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it does is it makes him tall.
Also,
like, normal...
it switches his voice.
Yeah.
He's got a little tiny voice at the end of it, even though he's huge.
Yeah.
And he had this
Huge voice when he
deep,
was...
booming voice. Oh my
But
god, man.
The thing about it, which is really interesting, is it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't actually get rid of what you dislike about yourself, I don't
Right.
think, as much as it just makes you societally normal.
They had some caveat to it that was something like it actually turns you into what you want to be viewed as
Well, that's
by
what I mean.
society or something like that, and then it turns you into a horrible version of
Version of
yourself.
that.
It
It's
was like a
interesting that-
monkey's paw. It was giving you the
Yes.
the exact wrong result, which almost felt like magic.
Yeah?
But it was supposed to be science, even though he hadn't tested it on anyone
Magic
except
science.
his.
You knew it, because why
he
would
was
he
like,
lie to
why
himself?
would he lie to himself?
That was an actual lie. Oh my god. This
Dr.
movie
Hinkle.
is insane. I
don't even know, man.
I feel like you could just find it on YouTube, because that's what we did. Maybe
Maybe we did.
Because it's
Yeah.
almost... So, like, you should watch it. It's free.
It's It's a head trip, man.
It is nuts because, like,
I don't get it.
I feel like I could talk like there's one moment where it's Oliver Reed he's like 50 at this point, and he looks like a barrel, like an old cork barrel.
Yeah.
And at one point he like rips his shirt open, and look, I shouldn't, because look, it's not like I'm in shape or anything. But he is very much not in shape.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm commenting on it is he screams, "Let me show you my body!
Yes.
Let me show you my body!"
He was real negative about his body image. That's the sad thing. And I think it's funny that it screwed his wishes up. Not that he even expected anything to happen to him. He was trying to commit suicide.
Yes.
Which leads me back to the fact that he has 3 friends in the office, and whenever he meets someone just to talk to them, they don't even react like they're horrified, maybe for a second, but then they're like, "Oh, you're a professional and you're wonderful at your job. I have nothing but respect for you, and maybe let's bang."
Yes.
You know, like, she wasn't opposed to it.
No, the love of his life was so interested in him as the quote-unquote monster, which was Heckyl, which was like himself, and was like horrified by hype.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that just goes to show, like, we are not good judges of ourselves as people.
That's actually a very interesting thing, which they were trying to have that shine through.
Well,
because there's some deep dialogue in this.
Yeah.
Which one of the first times we get it outside of Heckyl and Hype's head is when he is, I think, having sex with the first woman, and he's philosophizing while trying to fuck her.
Philosophizing? Is that what we
Philosophizing.
Philosophizing.
That's
right.
what we coined.
Yeah.
And but honestly, I think that it was way more high-minded, probably in both ways that you're thinking of. It's definitely high-minded in the fact of it was trying to send a message. Well, you wrote down something that happens in the opening credits.
Oh, this was...
If you'd like to go to this right now.
I think this is like...
This is incredible.
This is incredible.
They knew what they were doing.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think part of this goes to... And I'm going to flip back before I read the thing in the credits.
Sure.
One of the things that was interesting when I was reading about this is Griffith wanted to make a horror movie, and he wanted more blood and guts. And Menachem Golan and Jorn Globus kept pushing the comedy, and they won out every single time. And I guess there was huge fights on set about it.
Wow.
And Griffith has this quote that says, "Heckyl and Hype could have been a very good picture. Dr. Heckyll's a monster podiatrist. He is very humble and meek and helpful and nice to everybody. His attitude is that good-looking guys can get away with murder." And now he talks about Oliver Reed. Oliver was great as Heckyl. Wonderful. He played the part with a kind of New York accent and everything. But when he was Hype, he didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Reed played Hype as Oliver Reed, slow and ponderous. He didn't understand my interpretation, so the picture jars, and half the people get up and walk out.
That is right on.
Everything about this movie is jarring, and it feels like a bunch of people... This is a perfect example of, like, when you're making a movie, your star, your director, your writer, and your producers should all agree on what movie you're making.
No doubt.
Because what ends up happening is this, which is this weird mishmash of shit.
Yes.
Actually, Cannon couldn't even release this film in theaters. It was eventually sold to cable television.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
well, and it was shown especially with Elvira.
I mean, it was on Movie Macabre.
Yeah.
Elvira, which was... Yeah. The movie was 1980. Movie Macabre with Elvira was like not too long after that, like 83, 84. Like
probably,
this was like
probably not the initial showing,
but pretty close.
Could have been
right up
contemporary.
There.
Yeah,
and I mean, right in the beginning, the movie is listed as written by Charles B. Griffith, with apologies to Robert Louis Stevenson.
Well, and that fades up halfway through his name being up on...
Like, it's a joke. We get the joke.
It's the first Deadpool credits
style.
Yeah.
There's like, hey, just so you know.
We know.
We know.
We know.
You don't have to call us. We know.
We just took the money and ran. Yeah. Basically.
Well, it wasn't much money because he only got paid $25,000 to write it and $25,000 to direct it.
Oh, wow. Well, they couldn't afford much more.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I don't even like... What's tough about this movie is, like, how do we even get into what can be canon about it? Because so much of it is insanity, and I think they knew that.
Yes. I mean, there is a point The first kill,
Jesus.
when that rejected scene from Beetlejuice, where he electrocutes the woman
by
shoving a lamp on her toe.
Yeah.
And the result is just like a strobe light with her putting her tongue out.
With hair that was frizzy.
Yes.
So that's blue strobe. I laughed so hard.
Oh my god. If it was more stylized to be that Tim Burton-y or that odd, I would have loved it. I think they missed a trick by not investing another $1 million in this. Because think of what they could have done, think of what they could have been inspired to do, because I think what my biggest complaint about this movie is that it feels incomplete. I don't mean missing something, but I think it is missing a level that it could have been taken to.
Yeah.
Like the entire world could have been more like
skewed,
oddly weird,
bit.
You know, because we were taken into almost a parallel dimension. Wouldn't you, like, with the way things were being interpreted by humans.
The fact that there's a guy who can perform tickle puncture, or acutickle,
sure,
which allows people to have all of their ailments go away just by tickling the right spot, who later in the movie self-tickles himself to death. He self-tickles himself to death.
After he turned into a woman... Yes. From the paste, and then made out with Heckyl.
No, he was making out with Hype, the
Jesus,
one.
You're right.
And what ended up happening was they both woke up, both turned back into Doctor Who and Dr. Heckyl, and all of a sudden gay panic jokes.
It's like, oh man, I might as well kill myself rather than have kissed a man.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I mean...
But... To go back to all the insanity, the way the cops act,
one of the cops was Jackie Coogan, the kid, like the actual fucking kid from The Kid, starring Charlie Chaplin,
exactly.
Which this felt like a silent film routine. Sorry,
you're right, because it's him and a whole bunch of other handcuffed cops running around the background for the last 20 minutes of the movie, and then there is the fact that this surrealism knows weird bounds. I was gonna say no bounds, but there's just bounds. Like when he kills his second person, that it was I guess a prostitute, because she calls him her John.
Yes, that's right.
And then he stabs her with his hand puppet of a lion with the actual teeth.
Yeah, he's straight to the neck.
Yeah, and then that's when he says,
he says, she's dead, and I'm still a virgin.
And then he just picks up the body in the middle of the day with the lieutenant, the Flatfoot, as it were, sitting out in front on his lawn in apparently a Barca lounger or something like that. And then the crazy guy who is actually an informant, Dick Miller.
Oh, God, I love Dick Miller.
Who is apparently an informant for the cops because he has a radio
at
one point. He watches him throw the body into the garbage in the middle of the day, and nobody says anything just because they're maybe turned in the wrong way.
And Mr. Hype has no care in the world about, if anyone sees or not. Who cares?
Whatever.
Because he's a good-looking guy that can get away with murder. That goes back to the theme of the movie.
But again, that's almost like it's a fucking fever dream by him. After he takes the paste, he did just die, and he imagined the rest of Jacob's Ladder. I'm going to be Jason Mantzoukas for this episode.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can see that. No, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
There's those odd formations of the world.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We keep going down this one street that is so obviously a backlot.
Yes.
It might as well have a sign that says tours backlot tour this way.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right in that a little more money could have done the Tim Burton treatment, where everything's just skewed a little to the left.
Yeah.
I think the backlots.
I just think about the Edward Scissorhands idea, aesthetic. That's how.
And it could have worked.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this movie, is it almost worked. And when we go back to what is canon about this movie? What is canon?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think after having made it,
yeah,
knowing what you made and just fucking living with it.
Yep.
Just with the line of with apologies to Robert Louis Stevenson.
Yeah. I think they all kind of know they're on this weird journey, and they're like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna come out of this. I'm probably not gonna be proud with it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting paid, so let's do it.
Well, and I think that adds to the cartoonishness,
Yeah.
to the weird sound effects, to the insanity of the ending, where they just gave in. And I think it sounds terrible if, like, just give in eventually. And I think this goes back to, though, number one, like, when we get down to its core, like, what can we learn?
Yeah.
Well, let's make sure that everyone who's working on the movie knows exactly what
movie you're going to make, especially the actors, because basically they're the end of the whole thing, but they still need to know, or else they might fight against it.
Well, they might do what Oliver Reed did, where, like, half of it's, like, really kind of fun and wacky, and the other half is, like, super weird and plotting and serious that makes us, in those moments, just be like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, I think there was just a little too long in between those surrealist jokes to make it consistent in any way. I mean, I don't need it to be Not Another Teen Movie or any of those Not Another Movie movies. But a nice balance could have...
It's not that at all,
no,
though. Like,
it's
that's
not.
the weird part. It's not that. It's more of like... And actually, I think you kind of hit it. It's more like when Mel Brooks was doing the best of Mel Brooks. Because I feel like there's a lot of Blazing Saddles in it. There's a lot of Young Frankenstein in it.
Yeah.
Where those movies aren't parodies the same way like Robin Hood Men in Tights are. Those are sort of riffs, like comedic riffs on a long-standing genre.
It's very much so, yeah.
Spaceballs is like right halfway in between, where it's got one foot in each world.
Agreed.
And like the Not Another movies all feel like they're just parody, like they're just...
Yeah, no, that was unfair to even say to them. But that's... It doesn't have the joke a minute.
Yeah.
The joke a minute thing, which is... split the difference,
you
know? I mean, give us just a little bit more in between each scenes, or don't write those monologues that are way too easy to be acted completely literally.
Yeah,
because
different than what you expected.
I mean, I would love to look at the script and be like, oh my god, that was meant as a joke. If he had just sort of winked to camera or just been like differently interpreted it, it would have been hilarious.
I would love to pile through all 200 pages of this bad boy.
Fucking God.
No, but you're right. You're right. There is something interesting about that. And
yeah.
I think just going back to that idea of like, because this is what happens when you don't all know what you're making.
Yes.
And I think the alternative to that is like, if everyone doesn't agree on what we're making, let's just fucking go balls to the wall and create insanity and go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, other than like... make something a cartoon. I don't know what else we actually really learned from this movie.
I think create sanity from insanity. You know,
create sanity from insanity.
I suppose. You know, I mean, just figure out a way to live in it. You know, and then you will find something brilliant, perhaps.
Or not, but at least you swung
not
for
at
the
all.
fences.
Yes, exactly. Because I think also they are fighting with a shit ton of themes, attempted themes, and attempted literary nods, and being a little bit too smart for their britches. Maybe. But I think that just comes from the overstuffed 200-page script, because 200 pages is not up on that hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, no, because the movie ran 90 minutes or so, and 200 pages should run you close to 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So clearly, they even cut that down, but still it was a bit overstuffed with trying to make stands on issues. Different shit like that. Or making half stands.
Yeah.
You know, and not finishing
I don't mind the stand. It's just the fact that the stand doesn't, at the end of the day...
Pay off.
I
also love that it ends on a joke that was set up probably in the third scene. You will, Dr. Hinkle says, 1 drop and you will lose 200 pounds. Take 2 drops and you may not be here anymore. You might all be gone except your kidneys, and then they disappear. Something to that effect.
Yeah, and then what happens at the
end?
Or
with a kidney hero there. At the very end, Coral...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry if this ruins your want to see this piece of... wonderful cinema. She feeds him some to try to save him from the 4 bullet wounds. Why would that? Anyway,
she doesn't even know what it is at this point. That's
fair enough.
Story.
She's like, it's the magic that keeps you alive, right? Well, she doesn't have that kind of accent. And he turns into kidneys, and then he thinks, "Aw, and I'm still a virgin," or something to that effect.
The kidneys think I'm still a virgin,
and then he blinks out of existence.
Oh my god, this is American Pie. This is the exact.
Yeah.
This is American Pie meets Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Look, at this, like, I don't even know what else to say.
It's a stylistic mess.
It's
fine.
It's disappointing more than anything. But weirdly, again, I think if it was any longer, I would not have enjoyed it at all.
No.
But I weirdly did enjoy myself.
There were laugh out loud moments that just, I wish I had known why. Because I enjoyed them. A lot of it.
I wish I knew why I was laughing out loud in some of these moments, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, again, knowing what movie you're making, and I know I keep coming back to that, but it just feels like that was the issue. That was when it comes down to it, that was the issue.
Sure.
And also, it's possible to make a movie in 9 weeks, start to finish.
I wouldn't like to try.
No.
I've done those 72-hour film festivals, and that's stressful. And you're only trying to make 3 minutes long. Yeah. Full expecting to be released in theaters, so you at least want to color correct it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 weeks to edit, I don't get it, man.
Holy shit.
Well, what are we doing next week, Nick Oles?
I am excited about next week because this is a movie I actually haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay.
Most of these canon movies I've seen, but this is one I haven't seen. You're familiar with the Dingo Ate My Baby?
Oh, sure.
A dingo ate my baby!
From Seinfeld.
And
obviously
I think The Simpsons used it.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's used everywhere.
Yeah. Wait, that came from somewhere? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, right. That is a movie starring Meryl Streep and Sam Neill called A Cry in the Dark.
Meryl Streep is in a canon movie.
Yes, Meryl Streep is in a canon film. She was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role for this movie.
Okay.
Cry in the Dark, based off the novel Evil Angels, which also, I didn't know this, the A Dingo Ate My Baby was a real case in Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did not know this.
Right. And it went on for years. Yes.
Years. And next week we have a special guest.
Oh, who's that? Should we reveal it?
Of course, why not?
Go for it.
Very talented actress. You've seen her in things like, she's in a movie called For the Love of George. She was on an episode of House. She did an episode of The Resident. Adrienne Whitney Papp.
Okay.
So, wonderful actress is going to join us.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. And I'm really excited to watch this movie and experience it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicholas, where can we follow you on the Twitstagrams?
On the Twitstagrams?
All those things.
The best place you can find me is on Twitter at Nicholas C. Pappas, or I have a website, nicholascpappas.com.
Neat.
You can check out more about me there. It'd be nice to have just, a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, totes. Oh my god, put up a counter so you can be like, I was 108. Look at me. 1,000 and 10,008.
No, just 108.
Yep. I mean, it got to start
somewhere. I'm 1 through 107 from different computers.
And I feel happy.
Yeah.
I feel like I really contributed.
You did.
And you can find me at the AJ Hamilton all over the socials. And you can follow us at Creating Canon. Creating Canon with 2 N's. Well, 3, technically. CANNON. Just follow us for any of the things that you want to follow us for, because they're pretty cool. And with that, good night and good canon.
Good night and good canon.
We both did it. Now we should overlap that.
That was like
let's do it.
Ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Good night and good canon. I like that.
I do too.
Yeah. Just follow us for yep, all of the things.
Welcome to Movie Phone, where you use your phone to check movie time.
Yeah, it's called an app.
I mean, like that's...
They don't have movie phone anymore. That's a dated reference, sir.
I would like to check my movie phone to see what times the movies are playing.
I want to do that again because I sounded like an asshole.
Please do. You did.
Okay.
You kidding me? Definitely not keeping this in.